Crime is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
With his co-host, John Shefsky.
No adjectives, just a Simpsons song that now we have to pay royalties on because you've perfectly recreated it.
I did the notes wrong so that they can't sue us. It's a different song.
This podcast is now going to go into debt over the first bar.
Well, when we sell our album with our intro song on it, then we'll pay it off, right?
Fine, that's a good
play that. You know the intro song?
Where the music that we play right now?
Play that song. Play that song.
Crime
Is the show that starts now.
Oh, like right now?
Oh, yeah, do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything to me. Don't you dare.
Crimepodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send
Label
anything.
it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good. Welcome back to the podcast dungeon, everybody, at the Comedy Store.
Feels good to be home.
Oh, yeah, we are back in town after a little road trip down to San Diego. Where Jonathan Shefsky and I did a wide variety of activities, like eating burritos.
That's right.
And eating burritos.
I pooped a few burritos, too.
Now, sometimes if you eat too many burritos, it could cause health problems, like burrito-itis. And for that sort of thing, you want to go to our buddies at C3 Risk and Insurance Services. Our friend Joe Earl, who we visited in San Diego.
Gives great hugs.
He
really does love Shefsky.
And he's an insurance broker. What that means is he goes out and finds the correct insurance for you. So if you have an issue like car insurance that you need, home insurance that you need, I ate too many burritos.
That's right, burrito-itis.
Burrito-itis. Now my body is shutting down because too many refried and or black beans are in my system.
That reminds me, you need carbohydrate insurance.
Go ahead and hit up my buddy Joe Earl at 619-233-8000 or at c3insurance.com. And if you get a policy with him, he'll give you a $25 Amazon gift card that you can spend on anything.
Anything.
I think they have burritos on there. So you can get burrito insurance and then get more burritos once you've got your burrito insurance.
You can get anything on Amazon. He's great. Tell him Shefsky sent you. He loves me. And the other people at that office. We met like the whole crew, and they are freaking awesome people.
And they have a beautiful office with great views.
I'm talking about the people, Slayton.
I mean, the people were also there.
The goddamn building, Slayton. I'm talking about the human beings.
Great countertops, awesome couches.
You're gonna make a great CEO one day, you fucking cold prick.
You know, if you're looking for a great CEO, maybe hit up our other sponsor for this episode, Studio Headphones, based out of Sweden. Oh, those Swedes and the things they put in your ears.
Oh,
you know,
man, beautiful people.
The Regent,
the buildings,
the buildings though. The
Slayton
buildings really,
loves the buildings
things.
there.
Let's talk about Swedish things, like the Regent headphones that the over-ear model that comes with 24 plus hours of active battery life, 20 days of standby life, and that super cool no tangle cord. Go to Studio Headphones or studio.com and you can use our promo code CRiiiME with 3 eyes to get 15% off.
Yeah, that's dollars, folks. You make that cash.
And use that 15% off of cash to go to join our Patreon Sticker of the Month Club.
That's right. It's getting crazy.
Oh, it's so much fun. A lot of people are getting on there. We've got some great sticker designs. So I've described them before. Jonathan comes up with an idea, and I refer to him as Jonathan because the idea is inappropriate.
Yep.
We reconnoiter, we retool it, and then we come up with a sticker that you can put on something. One of our listeners just put a Sorry Mom sticker on his hard hat.
What?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me?
Posted it on the Instagram, bro. You should be more active on the social medias, dude.
I ran out of the minutes. They don't give me enough times. It takes forever to download Instagram.
He wears that ways in the Village People, and I'm super proud of him. So
thank you.
Shout the fuck out.
Who did it? Do you know?
I don't remember which one of our awesome listeners. You know what? I do.
Look it up right now.
Dozer Comic. Boom. There you go. Cameron Levy.
That's Cameron. Yeah.
Cam.
Fuck yeah, Cameron.
Fuck
a real American hero.
Talking about real American heroes, today we are joined by one of the true All-Americans. He is a pro wrestling commentator. We have sort of the
you guys have that in common. Bunch of commentators.
People that I commentate about actually fight, but it's fine, not a big deal.
Wow, what a great host he is.
There's about to be some crime right now.
I know.
He's a comedian, and he also has a new album.
Oh, he's got a great new album. It's called Jonny Loquasto Presents Jonny Loquasto's Jonny Loquasto.
So put your virtual hands together for our good buddy, Jonny Loquasto.
So many things. First off, when you were saying it wasn't the exact Simpsons theme song, you sounded just like Vanilla Ice when it was the whole Under Pressure, and he goes, it's that little bitty ting. He was trying to pretend it wasn't the same track.
Yeah.
And I lost it when you called Rich a cold prick. That's the greatest adjective / insult.
Truth in comedy. It cuts right through it. Am I right, folks?
It cuts right to the bone.
Just joking,
I will cut you.
Oh, my God. Is it too late to apologize and tell you I love you as you've got the knife up to my neck?
It's too late to apologize.
It's too late to apologize.
Roy V. Gardner.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I love anyone named Roy because I have a Canadian friend named Roy. I love Roy's.
Was born on January 5th, 1884 in Trenton, Missouri, to a poor farming family.
So he's posthumous right now.
Yes, he's dead now.
Got it.
By all
posthumous.
accounts, posthumous. I love the pronunciation there.
Posthumous.
That's that pro wrestling announcer commentary pronunciation right there.
That'd be cool if there was like a competitor to Post Malone. Like that was his name. He's a rap guy. He's like, I'm
Posthumous.
posthumous. I'm a little bit darker.
Well, speaking of Post Malone, well, very similar. Another white man, Mac Miller, got arrested for DUI after smashing his truck in Studio City last night.
Oh, snap.
Anyways, continue.
By all accounts, Roy was a fairly normal boy until a hard fall from a horse left him with a scar on top of his head and a reckless attitude.
That's how it happens, dude.
That's how it
it's
goes,
brain
dude.
stuff. They always find out with these killers, they have brain problems.
That's the Kinnison formula. This is actually he's going to become a comedian.
So let me guess. To treat it, they bloodlet him.
That's what you're supposed to do for most things.
Got it.
His father, G.V. Gardner, moved the family to Colorado Springs when Roy was 8 years old, where Dad took a job managing the local electricity plant. By the time he graduated high school, Roy stood almost 6 feet tall with short, curly dark hair and striking blue eyes.
But a scar on his goddamn head.
A scar on his head. Just, ugh.
the curls hit it, right?
Hopefully.
Or maybe the scar actually got him laid.
He spent the next few years drifting around the Southwest, working as a miner and a farrier, which is a horse hoof expert. If you, if you're not familiar with the horse hoof industry,
we all need a trade.
Sounds like a stinky job.
In 1905, Roy enlisted with the U.S. Army 22nd Infantry Regiment out of Fort Worth, Texas, although some historians claim it was simply to escape penalties for a few minor criminal infractions.
I mean, military.
That's how you do it.
Anybody can join, right? You just go like, can I get a gun and some meals? Hot meals? Some boots?
You drive up, you show up in the car you stole. There's not a problem, right? That claim. No worries. Just start a character and then just let all your friends stare at you. Not
I
a big
didn't know.
deal.
I didn't know what you were doing
Peace.
there.
God.
We've only done the show for a year. I can't
That
read your body
claim
language.
is bolstered by the fact that less than a year into his service, Roy Gardner disappeared from his post in the Philippines and became a deserter.
That sounds
So he's like
delicious.
that bird dog guy that was on the last season of Serial. He just left his whole inventory.
Bye.
Peace out.
Not a big deal.
Out.
Hey, it's been fun.
Doesn't a deserter sound like someone that's professional? Like their only job is to deal with like cakes and baked goods for like big events. Like I'm a deserter.
That's
like,
a
wow,
confectioner.
you work for. Yeah, I know, but
love desserts.
you could call a confectioner someone that like leaves the army, and call a deserter someone that makes brownies.
He's the 1880s version of Bo Bergdahl. That's the name I was thinking of, not Bird Dog. Bergdahl. That's the
You know
guy.
what? But I think Bo Bird Dog should be his name from now on.
Should be. Old Bird Dog just abandoning everyone in Afghanistan.
That's old bird dog. He never stuck around, had to fly away and bark. Ruff.
Meanwhile, Daddy had electricity on his mind.
From there, he made his way to Mexico, where he bought a mule and a wagon, the tools for his first. Isn't that what you buy when you go to Mexico?
Well, that's
Not
actually all
nowadays.
you can buy in Mexico, as far as I know.
Yeah, no. That now the border check. They're like, hey, are those drugs there? Fine, but give me that mule.
Is that a mule? Nope, it's a zebra.
I thought you could buy companionship there. Like
That's a nice way of putting it.
The good kind.
So the mule and the wagon were the tools for his first criminal enterprise as a gun runner.
Ooh, this is old school gun running with wagons. Whoa.
For a while, Roy's life was stable enough that he married and had a daughter.
Oh, boy. What a lucky gal.
But Mexico was on the path to turmoil. Mexican President Porfirio Diaz had been in office for over 30 years due to a combination of rigged elections and the suppression of any opposition.
Ay, muy bien.
Kind of sounds like Russia today.
Moy being in charge, that's what I'll do.
Hey.
Sí, es verdad, mijo.
Not related to Joey Diaz.
In 1905, the newly formed Mexican Liberal Party began drumming up opposition support from peasants, laborers, and farmers. Strikes were put down harshly, sometimes by mass murder at the hands of the military. With,
Oh, whoa. What year was this?
right now, this is around early 1900s. This is like 1908, 1900. I mean, like, he'd been in power for 30 years. So this is coming up, it started in the 1880s.
Okay, so the 1910s is, yeah. Okay.
With elections, quotation marks, coming up the next
Because
year.
they ain't real. Just
Not
like how
at all.
Putin does them.
Yep.
Don't say that about our leader. Contenders for the presidency began to pop up.
I know. It's so funny how so many people love Putin, and you're like, dude, like, come on. He's a douche.
Many contenders popped up for these elections, and many of them who had their own militaries.
Do you think Putin could listen to this podcast and then kill us?
I hope he listens, though. And then he's like, you know what? These guys are cool. And
I'm going to join the Patreon.
Putin was like, I have joined your sticker of the month club, comrade. I don't know how Putin talks. He's probably like, I have joined your sticker of the month.
I put them on my bald spot.
Yes, I put them on my prisoners of war and I shoot them for saying bad things about me.
When I ride horseback without shirt, I put them over my nipples.
I do hashtag tic-tac-toe with bullets.
Roy began supplying arms to the army of Venustiano Carranza of the anti-reelectionist party and future president of Mexico.
Oh.
But in 1909, he was caught by the Mexican federal forces of Victoriano Huerta, another future president of Mexico.
Is everybody a future president of Mexico in this story, Slaton? I feel like you're hinting at something.
And sentenced to death by a firing squad.
Damn.
Did he make it to that bright future?
Then on March 29th, 1909, Roy used a knife to saw his way out of his cell, then with the help of 3 other American prisoners, overpowered the guards and made his escape back across the border to Arizona. So we're done with Mexico, just to point that out.
We just got out of Mexico?
We're done with Mexico entirely, but I want to say something about this.
All right, we're safe now, guys. We're out of Mexico.
And if you got to cut yourself out of a prison, all you need is a knife.
It's like, did I need a passport to get through that story?
You guys can both drink your waters now. We're totally
we're out
fine.
of Mexico.
There's a butter knife, actually.
So, interesting note, this time in this period in Mexican history, there's a lot of turnover in Mexican leadership. A mixture of like some people some leaders interacting with American interests, some not, and lots of coups and attempted coups.
Yeah,
Ooh, I love
I
coups.
didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Mexico had such like corruption there.
What? No way.
I just didn't know it. I thought it seems. You ever see a picture of the El Presidentes and you're like, oh, look at him. He's wearing a suit. Looks like a respectable guy. Looks
They're
real
mostly
nice.
wearing epaulets, and if you're wearing epaulets in your picture as a leader of a country, you're almost surely
what's the
a
epaulets?
dictator. The things on your shoulders, like the little fringy things on your shoulders.
No, I feel like they're not wearing those. That's why I always think that they're just square dudes.
I feel like they're always wearing those. And
Really?
In these old pictures of Mexican leaders, they're always wearing like a military
That's weird
uniform.
because I bought button-down shirts at Express at a similar look.
That's the big scene this season, Johnny. That's the look.
It's epaulets.
Mexican fascist is really in right now.
After escaping back to the U.S., instead of running guns, Roy decided to show them off in the boxing ring.
Yeah. Oh, you mean he got into fighting?
Yeah.
Where he shot people in the boxing ring.
He's like, I deal guns, and he's like, this one right here and this one right here. mijo.
Question, what nationality is this?
He's
Roy?
American. Roy Gardner's
That's
an
what I
American
thought.
guy.
I don't know why you're
Shefsky-
giving that.
Shefsky's lost.
I don't know.
Way off.
He knows nothing. He's gone.
I heard Mexico, and then I did a Russian accent. What do you guys want from me?
Roy Gardner, a man who'd already suffered serious head trauma, became a professional prize fighter.
Pies fighter?
He's a pies fighter.
I will fight for a pie.
Dude, some rhubarb.
Oh,
Dude, I will
dude.
fuck you up for some rhubarb.
Banana cream.
Dog.
Banana cream?
That's the real one. When we go to Sacramento, Frank Fats. By the way, any Sacramento listeners, if you haven't been to Frank Fats, which by the way, there's no way you haven't because it's
I was just in Sacramento. I've never heard of it.
it's next to the Capitol. It's it's like an old school from the 1920s Chinese restaurant.
and
It's
now
one of
they owe us for a fucking ad read.
Yeah. Well, no. One of the family members was my dentist for years and took great care of my teeth.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't. He did. I ruined my teeth. He fixed them.
You gonna give him a free ad read too now, Slaton?
Well, he's not practicing anymore.
Well, maybe he should.
Anyway, they have great banana cream pie. So if you're in Sacramento, go get that banana cream pie at Frank Fats on 16th and L, I think it is.
Cream pies.
Oh, yeah. Cream that.
pie.
Dot your I's and cream your pies. So he becomes a professional. I cannot say that
He's a
word.
boxer.
I know,
He
you're-
punches
he's a boxer.
people.
Thank you.
Amateur reader over here. Get back to your story.
In less than a year, he developed enough of a reputation that he was called in to be the sparring partner for former heavyweight champion J.J. Jeffries.
Because you could just ring his bell a bunch. It wouldn't make him any dumber. He was already at the edge. Bing, hey, boss, he's not any dumber now, and we beat the shit out of him.
We'll hit him again, I think.
Okay, let me get over here.
All right, now, hey, can you read that sentence real quick for me?
No, and I couldn't read it before.
Sounds good to me. Hit him again.
Yeah, give him a promotion. Okay.
At first, it sounded like you were trying to get on the internet in the 90s.
Actually, trying to do it using a dial-up modem is my description of what hanging out with Shefsky is like most of the time.
That's fair.
Oh, that is fucking.
It's very
brutal.
It's
Oh, yeah.
Very brutal.
It's very slow.
And noisy.
I have loved ones that listen to
noisy.
this podcast. This is very brutal. They're hearing me get tortured right now.
While Jeffries was
Horrifying.
famous in his time for his undefeated record, today he is better known by his nickname, given to him when he agreed to come out of a 5-year retirement to fight the reigning heavyweight champion. That nickname was...
What's his nickname? Should we guess? Johnny, let's play a little game. Let's play a little game. What do you think the nickname is?
I'm going to say Real Guns. What's his last name? Gardner?
well, no, Roy Gardner. We're not talking about Roy now. We're talking about the guy who was a sparring partner for J.J. Jeffries.
Oh, J.J. Jeffries. Oh, that guy's nickname. Wow. I'm going to go with Syphilis on the Low, J.J. Jeffries.
pretty close.
I'm going to keep it clean. I'm going to go with the returner.
Okay. Even better, his nickname was the Great White Hope.
Is that where the first original Great White Hope nickname? I wonder.
His opponent for this coming out retirement match was Jack Johnson, one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time,
The big black
who
something.
also happened to be black.
Yes, of course.
For years, while Jeffries was the world champ, Johnson had been denied a shot at the title due to his color, settling instead for taking and defending the colored heavyweight championship.
Oh, boy.
I didn't even know they had that. It's separate championships?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
separate
afraid-
water fountains, too.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard about the water fountains, but I didn't know about the championships.
But in 1908, promoters paid the current white champ enough money to make it happen, $30,000, and Jack won that bout. White people were furious.
Oh, God.
Hence the call rising up.
My ego, my racial ego. I did nothing to be this color, but I have a racial ego.
How did these black people get so strong and capable of beating a white man in a boxing match?
We need to call Steve Bannon.
Hence the call, the rise, the need for a great white hope. But
Oh,
Jeffries,
so it was racial.
Oh, this is
They
100%.
called him the Great White. He wasn't like a big fat white dude that was just like pale. And then it was like, he's like a big white dollop of fucking sour cream.
So JJ Jeffries is the former heavyweight champion who
Yeah.
retired undefeated.
Yeah.
And now he's been out for 5 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, a black guy's champion, bring the champ back so
Comes back.
these whites can get this belt back. but like where it should be.
There was no other white man available in the past 5 years?
Well, he'd beat up the white man who was currently the champion, and they needed someone. He had a couple
is
wins.
racism just penis envy? Jesus Christ. He beat us up. Well,
It
we hate
really
their
is.
whole race.
It's all dick envy.
Like now
But
they
there
can't
was
fight
a
us.
pretty serious problem with Jeffries coming out of retirement.
What is that?
In the 5 years, he had ballooned from 225 pounds, the heavyweight limit, to over 330.
He went for the Great White Hope. Ladies and gentlemen, in the corner, the Fat White Hope.
Speaking of cream pies,
Oh, yeah.
At first, he declined, but when promoters offered him $120,000, nearly
that today?
$3.5 million today,
Oh, yeah, he's like, I'm
and
down.
twice Johnson's purse,
what?
Oh,
he
okay.
declared, quote, I am going into this fight for the sole purpose of proving that a white man is better than a Negro.
Oh,
This is
my
J.J.
God.
Jeffries.
This is J.J. Jeffries.
Oh, man.
It's you talk about cringing. When you're like, do people really talk like that? Jesus Christ.
Oh, I cut out. I just for a mixture of like how annoying it would be. I cut out so many like, hey, but what about a Negro in this situation references in this story? Because there's definitely times when like some people are like, hey, he blacked his face like a Negro so he could get away with this crime. And
God.
he robbed this place thinking that there was a Negro there and it wouldn't be a problem.
And I guarantee you he fought like this.
Oh, 100%.
That's why he got his ass kicked.
By the way, everyone listening knows what motion Jonny Loquasto just made.
Yep.
You know exactly
he
what he
made
says
that. Put your dukes up.
And he had one of those twisty mustaches.
So J.J. Jeffries got himself back in the gym and hired a number of partners to help him get in shape, like Roy Gardner.
Uh-oh.
It did not work.
Oh, Roy didn't do a good job.
Jeffries made the weight, but no amount of sparring with fugitives could turn back the clock. On July 4th, 1910, in front of 20,000 people in Reno, Nevada,
That was a lot. How many people is that nowadays?
yeah,
3.5 million.
Jeffries was knocked down for the first time and then knocked down again going through the ropes.
Oh, man. I wonder what the black dude whispered into his ear as he was kicking his ass, too. You like that, you fucking racist little turd? You think he called him a turd?
His probably called him a turd.
You're a real meanie great white nope.
You're a bird turd.
The Great White Nope.
And as he knocks him out,
That is a great title, The Great White Nope.
the great
Yeah.
white nope.
His corner threw in the towel, solidifying Johnson as the best in the world.
Ha ha.
That night, race riots broke out all across the country, resulting in 20 deaths and hundreds of injuries.
Like, are we like just a bunch of children? Like, we need a mommy and daddy, like a. to, like-
God, just when I start to, every now and then I like to bitch about modern times, and then I hear a story like this. I'm like, you know what? We have evolved.
oh yeah, dude, read those Steven Pinker books, dude. We're doing better. We're
Yeah.
doing better than we were.
Yeah, were there riots when Magic Johnson beat Larry Bird? I don't know.
Physically, they didn't box. That would
Yeah,
be great.
exactly.
I'd pay to see that. I don't
I'd
have
pay
that
to
much
see
money
that
though.
right now.
Maybe $5. 25.
Now, a little copped here. I edited it out for time, but I'll put it back in right now. Jeffries in his post-fight interview was like, yeah, even in my prime, I couldn't have actually laid a finger on that guy. So he was
admitted
so
it.
good.
Okay.
After the fight, he was like,
Wait, did he get the racism knocked out of him?
yeah.
He's like, you know, now that I think of it, I actually like a lot of black fellas.
Yeah.
Actually, they might actually be superior. Jesus, I can't believe I'm saying this.
pretty much. I've installed my own water fountain in my house. It's for everybody. So come on by, and I'll serve you lunch.
Not only should we be equal, I feel like I should assume the submissive and be the slave in this situation.
Dude, yeah. So
He really did kick my ass. I'm starting to wonder what we are as white people.
while the loss was important to most of white America, it did not matter at all to Roy Gardner because he still got paid.
Yeah, everybody's making that cash. That's the only color I see is green.
Flush with cash from his own fights and sparring work, Roy went to San Francisco, where he promptly gambled away every last cent.
Hell yeah, Roy.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, dude. He's doing it. Next level shit, bro. Top to bottom. You know how we do. Big ups.
He spent his cash. How much did he make off of it?
I don't know exactly. That wasn't in the records.
Well, I want to know.
I'm going to guess it was less than 120,000 because that's what Jeffrey's got paid.
These are still large chunks of money.
Roy went to San Francisco. He gambled away money. Rather than returning to boxing, he opted for the less risky work of robbing a jewelry store on Market Street.
Oh, hell yeah. They don't need all those
You know,
jewelries.
it's a bigger return. It takes a lot less time than training.
Sure. As he fled with his take, Roy ran smack into a large police officer who wrestled him to the ground and placed him under arrest.
the standard, like you're running and you turn back and you slam into a wall, but it's actually like a big buff dude's chest. Like you can't even, his face is above your head.
Oh, no, this guy's entire life is a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Oh,
From top to bottom. Roy was sentenced to 5 years in San Quentin.
Oh, damn. Well, at least you don't have to worry about figuring out your rent.
But in 1912, he saved the life of a guard during a prison riot. As a reward, he was paroled and set up with a welding job at a Navy shipyard.
Oh, fuck. That's great. He got, yeah.
In 1913, he married and a few years later had a daughter.
Wait, so he's on his second daughter now?
Yeah, the first marriage and daughter, by the way, no mention after he leaves Mexico.
That
Like,
sounds
there's-
about right.
Yeah.
She's still in Mexico.
Well, come on, guys. We all know how it works. You marry whoever you marry in every state, and then you have kids with them, and then you move on and never talk to them again. Am I right?
Yeah.
We're podcasters. Am I right? That's how it is.
Come on.
Roy was promoted to supervisor, and by 1918, he'd saved enough to leave his job and found his own welding company in San Diego.
Oh, this guy sounds cool.
Everything was going great.
Crime over. End of podcast.
Dude, San Diego. We love San Diego. We just were there. Best burritos ever.
He could afford a lot of burritos.
A lot of burritos. Any kind of you want a chalupa? He's got it. You want a torta? A sope?
Until one night
Oh, no.
in Tijuana.
Oh, dude.
He ran
One
in-
night in Tijuana makes a hard man a crumple.
He ran into J.J. Jeffries.
Roy was south of the border on business, but TJ has taken down many a better man.
Oh, yeah.
And Roy was a betting man. The business meeting ended with a trip to the racetrack where he again lost all of his money.
Roy, Jesus.
Where did he put it all in one sack? Like all of his money?
Johnny, it was the old days. That's exactly it. You had your gold coins in your fucking front pocket.
I store my money at the Bank of Boot.
Put him in the walls.
On April
can't trust him.
16th,
Traveler's checks, Disney dollars. Is that what you're looking for?
You know, when my grandmother passed away and we had to sell their old house, we found random stacks of money all over the house.
That's awesome. Do you have any with you?
Yeah, please.
I don't know where the cash went.
We have a
but-
tip jar here. Yeah.
On April 16th, 1920, as he passed by a post office, Roy noticed the back door of the mail truck was open.
Ooh, gonna steal me some letters.
So he jumped in and robbed the driver of around 80 grand in cash and securities.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that was so lucrative. Maybe that is a good idea.
Roy got away, but was spotted by a hiker as he dug a hole to stash the loot. After the mailman picked him out of a lineup, Roy's trial was a done deal.
With the hiker narked on him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
On June 1st, 1920,
Bitch ass
I
hikers.
don't know, what kind of hiker is that, huh?
That's why I don't hike. I don't like them.
man, what are you doing over there? I'm trying to take a selfie on this cliff.
I'm really just trying to live my life, dude, and please don't tell anybody about what I'm doing here.
You're
'cause
stealing that, aren't you?
definitely not stealing anything. This $100,000 in cash is normal that you carry when you hike.
Hey, you! What are you burying there?
It's my poop. This is poop.
He stole stuff, officer.
I poop money, and I'm trying to dispose of my poop like you're supposed to when
Hold
you're
on,
out in the woods.
metrosexual hiker. What's going on here?
That's not my. Well, never mind. Yeah, this guy's stealing stuff, man.
No, that's actually a very good point. Your hairstyle is very ambiguous.
Well,
Your eyebrows seem very plucked.
listen, I'm a little stoned, and
This
I'm
story is
trying
going to continue.
Do you have drugs on you?
Yeah, what do you consider a drug, man?
Yeah, get him. And ignore. I'm going to keep burying my poop money over here. You go ahead and arrest that hippie
Consumerism's
metrosexual.
the biggest drug, man.
You're coming with me. Keep burying.
Roy, on June 1st, 1920, he was convicted and sentenced to 25 years in the federal penitentiary on McNeil Island near Tacoma, Washington.
Dude, 25 years in Washington? I hope no one has to go through that ever again.
Roy immediately vowed that he would never serve that sentence.
Oh, yeah, he used the secret. He's like, I'm better than that. I have a vision board. It doesn't have me in the jail, I'll tell you that much.
It's just an empty jail cell.
That's right.
And there's me on a jet ski.
Just put it out to the universe.
4 days later, he was on the train to McNeil Island, escorted by a pair of U.S. Marshals.
And that's how the secret really works.
Bury money now.
Envision it. It'll happen. The universe cares. 3 days later, lesson learned, no one cares.
Rewind. 4 days later, he was on the train to McNeil Island, escorted by a pair of U.S. Marshals. As they neared Portland, Oregon, Roy leaned his head out the window and exclaimed, Look at that deer.
But
As the lawman leaned over to see,
He pushed him out?
Roy grabbed the gun from one of the marshal's holsters and forced the other to hand over his weapon.
Oh, fuck.
Then
He's
he-
breaking free.
was this the Keystone Cops, for
This is
God's
great.
sake?
Hey, is he handcuffed while he's doing this? So he's got the gun like with the handcuffs, and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
you over there. Like, how pussy do you feel like if you're the cop and like, God damn it, this guy
They
with
fell for the
handcuffs.
we fell for the old look at the deer trick.
Yeah.
The deer. Well, in the old days, every cop hunted. Nowadays, the cops are like, I buy my meat at the store.
Then he handcuffed the marshals to each other, stole $200 from their wallets, and jumped off the train, fleeing to Canada.
Forgetting sheriff marshals.
That's a real slow trade. Nice, but
Ooh, I like that. Another episode potential title, bro.
The Great White Nope, though, is pretty much, we got to go with that.
Roy eventually slipped back into the States, keeping a low profile as a traveling salesman and welder. But it wasn't long before he went right back to thieving, pulling off solo jobs on trains, mail trucks, and banks from Iowa to Nevada. Despite being on a solid run, he eventually began to feel a little bad about leaving his wife and kid.
Oh, see, Roy's got a heart.
which wife and kid?
That's a fucking great point, Johnny.
No.
You're like asking Roy, I thought you said, well, I don't miss the first one.
Well, we all know Mexico doesn't count.
Yeah, no, what happens in there, something, I don't know, new motto for that place.
Si se puede.
So he returned to California with a plan.
see.
He would go home and let his wife turn him in for the $5,000 reward. But as he made his way through wine country, Roy was cornered by officers looking to collect the cash themselves. He somehow again evaded capture.
Driving through wine country, everybody's complaining.
And that's why they don't hire blind cops anymore.
With the you have no idea, dude. With the $5,000 reward out of the question, Roy decided the best way to help his family was to rob more trains.
yeah, dude, fucking double down, bro.
He spent a few days scoping out his targets, riding on top of the cars to make notes of the twists and turns on the tracks. Because he discovered a weakness. On the sharpest turns, the rubber connectors between the cars would pull apart just enough to let someone slip through.
Whoa. Oh, okay, so I'm just imagining it. Like, it would peel like this, open, and you could just kind of climb in that.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, wow, Roy.
He is very method.
Yeah, dude, he's smart. He might be a meth guy. That's just something that a meth dude would figure out.
On May
Smoking meth,
19th,
solving problems.
1921, he boarded the Southern Pacific Railroad number 10 train eastbound out of Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, hitting close to home here, Slady Poozy.
Eastbound, not down.
Tied up the mail clerk and calmly collected $187,000.
Oh. Damn.
Yep.
Man, it's really hard telling people these stories and being like, yeah, you can just go rob these things and get all this money. And being like, it's not right, though. You shouldn't do it.
You got to spend at least 2 days preparing, though.
Yeah.
With his small fortune, Roy did what any of us would do in the same situation.
He went out for sushi, got some new shoes.
He gambled.
Hookers?
That next morning,
Guns.
he boarded the Southern Pacific Railroad number 20 train to do it all over again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, because he's like, this is a cash cow.
As the train neared Rockland, he slipped through the opening and into the mail cart, pulled out his .45 caliber pistol, and told the mail clerk to put up his hands or lose his head. He filled a bag with cash and mail before jumping off and running down the tracks with the loot in his arms. The train pulled to a stop outside Roseville, but it took a while for anyone to notice that the mail clerk hadn't made his pickup from the drop box.
Where is he? He should be here by now.
By then, Roy was gone.
Hell yeah.
So
Roy's
that's
fucking robbing trains.
2 scores in a row.
Fucking love
Back
a
to
good
back.
train robbing story.
So Roy's got $300,000, which back then is $17 million.
yeah, it's a ton of money, but
He's got millions.
He's gonna gamble it though. He's not a smart guy. He's doing it for the rush. You can tell that he's going back the next day. He's clearly high off of this shit, and he's like, "Man, I felt really cool to just grab all that cash. I'm gonna go back tomorrow and see what I can do."
Going back to TJ.
Yeah,
But Roy hadn't gone very far.
he went to the Honda dealership, got himself a new car.
After ditching the mail,
That's what I would do, right? Get a
Roy
nice
stopped at the Peerless Cafe in the middle of downtown Roseville
4-door Accord with tinting, nice rims.
to take in a leisurely breakfast.
Got himself a BLT.
What did he get? Yeah, what is he eating?
He finished his meal and walked to his room at the Porterhouse Hotel.
Slayton, what did he eat?
I have no idea.
Jesus Christ, the most
fuck's
important part of the
sake.
stories.
He got an omelet, 3 eggs, only egg whites.
Oh, gross.
He was
He's living on the
forward-thinking.
edge, dude. He's
Added
having
avocado. He can afford it.
Yeah,
avocado
definitely
toast.
double avocado.
2 days later, he was still relaxing in Roseville, which was a big mistake,
Oh, yeah.
as that's where he robbed the train. And wanted posters with his face were everywhere. 2 days after the robbery,
Wait, why didn't he wear a sock over his face? What do they do? The
And where
nylon?
did they get the photo of him? I guess from his previous arrests.
No,
Yeah,
they asked.
they do a drawing
Yeah,
or
they do
whatever.
drawings. You've seen the drawings. You've seen that episode of The Office where they drew Dwight. You know, like they asked the person, "What did he look like? He had lips like a bird." Okay.
Yeah, as a white guy. Oh, we got him.
2 days after the robbery, he
They're
was
always
playing poker at a pool hall next to his hotel when 4 officers entered and arrested him at gunpoint.
And he escaped because they can't see.
When they reached
There's a deer over there. They're like, huh? They're like, ah, you guys in the corner and give me all your money.
Thank you, four-legged friends.
Yeah. There is a deer that's like his homeboy. He high fives it after every time. The deer's like, what do deers do for sound? I was going to go, nay, what do deers do?
They don't.
Do they really?
They only make a sound when you hit them with your car.
Oh,
sound.
that's awful.
Yeah, it's really terrible.
That's morbid.
When they reached the Sacramento jail,
Well, maybe the deer talked English and was like, hey, you anytime, bro. And they fist bumped.
Roy laughed as he told the interrogator, quote, "You should have seen the dealer's face when they arrested me. It was the funniest thing I've seen since I left Los Angeles."
And the interrogator's like, you are on trial for life. Are you? Stop joking.
Dude, but no, seriously, though, it was so funny because he was like, ah, and I was like, yeah, they got me.
Do you
know?
realize you're never going to see the outside of a prison cell?
Oh, no, I will. I'm not concerned about that at all. But his face, I think he farted a little bit. Maybe even peed because he was so freaked out.
Is he going to fart in jail for the rest of his life like
I'm
you?
not gonna be in jail the rest of
Hold
my
on a
life.
second. Are you
Yes.
the guy I caught burying money next to that hippie?
No, I was burying poop that looks like money. I want to be very clear about this, about who I am.
Wait, that was poop? Oh, no. I smoked it, man.
Well, okay, as you were.
The next day, papers learned the cops had caught him just in time. 12 hours later, Roy would have already been on his way to Mexico.
He could have been 2 days ago, but he decided to chill at the goddamn hotel.
Instead, Roy faced a judge in Sacramento and was again sentenced to 25 years at McNeil Island.
Man, he's turning into a Johnny Cash song over here.
This time, he tried to cut a deal. He'd turn over the loot in exchange for a reduced sentence.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
Give me the loot. Detectives for the Southern Pacific Railroad
Oh,
took...
say that a little slower, please.
I have trouble with that one.
Detectives for the
Detectives for the Southern Pacific Railroad
There you go, baby.
took him to find the cash, but when nothing turned up, Roy said, "I guess I've forgotten where I buried the money." Some historians think that he was doing that to act as a signal to someone who was there so he could get the money smuggled away. On June 11th, Roy once again boarded the train to McNeil Island with a pair of U.S. Marshals.
Only 2 this time.
And he's like, hey, it's that deer again. And they didn't listen to him. He's like, no, you're going to miss an amazing deer.
It's so good.
No, dude, this deer is so
It's like
good.
a 16-point buck. I've never seen that before.
We've seen a deer before. Stop trying to mess with us.
I'm not falling for that one again, you criminal.
Hey, look, it's a badger.
What? Where? Get out of the way.
This time, they were taking no chances. Roy was heavily shackled and fitted with a device nicknamed an Oregon boot.
Okay, what does that mean?
Invented in 1866 by Oregon State Penitentiary Warden J.C. Gardner, no relation.
Smells like pine cones.
The Gardner shackle was designed to solve a very specific problem.
It's an artisan boot.
Originally built in 1851, the prison in the Oregon State Pen,
American made.
the Oregon State Pen sat right in the middle of Portland. When private contractors took over operations and began using prisoners for labor, they somehow allowed every single prisoner to escape. Residents did not appreciate the flood of convicts, so the prison was moved to Salem.
They interview the residents. They're like, how are so many prisoner people getting out in your town? Do you know? The residents are like, well, we got these really cool looking deers everywhere, and apparently, the officers love to see the deers, and the inmates they always tell them, and that tends to be a distraction.
And every time they disappear, I pick up one of these boots.
The boots were invented to solve this escape problem.
I want to see some Oregon booty.
So
You know what I'm saying?
They moved the prison to Salem.
Squishy tushy.
The new warden was dismayed to discover that the new site was just a piece of land with no actual structures.
That's just a piece of land with no actual structures.
Joe Dosh is in my head so hard right now.
Why?
Where it's like Mystery Obvious Theater 3000.
Oh yeah, I love pestering Joe Dosh.
The
He's so much fun.
state expected the new warden to have the inmates build their own prison. To solve the problem of a prison with no cells, Warden Gardner invented the boot. A thick iron band was fitted with metal stirrups attached to a heel that went under the back of the inmate's shoes. Weighing almost 30 pounds, the device was then clamped around only one ankle of the prisoner.
Why?
Much like how a farmer might clip only one wing of a chicken to keep it from flying away, the heavy weight to one side kept the prisoners off balance, making it nearly impossible to flee.
Yeah, how bad were their
Nearly.
back problems, dude? On my hip flexors from jail. They're so fucked up.
It worked great, and within a few years, the new facility was built.
Oh.
But rather than remove the boots now that the prisoners were secure, Warden Gardner decided to leave them on, in no small part because he'd secured a contract with the state that paid him directly for the use of his invention.
Oregon boots for everybody.
This is the problem with privatizing prisons. This is it. This is exactly it. This is Shawshanking.
This was a terrible idea, as the boot turned out to be a slow-acting torture device.
Yeah, a fucking course.
Prolonged use began to do serious damage. Inmates developed problems in their feet, ankles, knees, and hips.
Do they have physical therapists in prison? Do they have a foam roller?
Well, I don't know. Some ended up in the hospital for weeks at a time with severe pain.
Physical
so that's sort of
therapy
the
was
same
not
thing.
invented till the 80s.
They don't have myofascial release?
Nope.
Many ex-cons left the prison system with a permanent limp.
Yeah, that's fucking fucked up. That is cruel and unusual punishment.
The issue was so bad that the superintendent of Oregon prisons was forced to limit their use to only disciplinary purposes or on inmates who presented a serious flight risk.
So they stopped it. They ended that shit.
They ended
that
having it on
draconian
all the
bullshit.
time.
This is America, goddammit.
But so the boot ended up being kind of popular and bought by prisons around the country.
Yeah.
But mostly now it was used for like transportation purposes or like flight risks, which Roy Gardner fit that bill to a T.
Perfect for our subject.
So we're back on the train to
Yes.
to McNeil.
Back on
Not
the
only was
train.
Roy shackled and fitted with the boot, but his U.S. Marshal escorts, Mulhall and Wrinkle, were both agency veterans known to be quick on the draw. They would not fall for some look at that deer trick.
I've seen all the deers I need to see, boy.
So they did allow him to use the bathroom.
You can take a shit, but don't tell me about no deers.
Drag that boot with you.
Yeah, that's right.
Where
Don't
he-
get shit on the boot.
If you piss on my boot,
Oh, that
I
that's
swear to God,
iron, very absorbent qualities in iron.
I'm going to clamp this boot around your Peter.
A lot of poop gets stuck in that metal.
And in that bathroom was a .32 caliber pistol hidden earlier by a friend.
How did the friend get on the bus?
Johnny, he was a regular person that they weren't watching. We don't even know. This is a story that we don't know how the
Now,
friend
I've
did it.
actually read two different accounts of how he got the pistol.
Okay, maybe we do.
One is that the pistol was hidden in the bathroom. The other was that someone sewed it into his shirt, into the lining of his shirt.
That is how you wear a pistol. You
I
sew it.
believe
You
the
sew it in.
first one more because it seems like they'd find it if it was sewn into your shirt.
Unless he had big bitch titties and he hit him underneath his sweaty nipples.
That's my favorite kind of pocket tee right there.
You know?
When he emerged, gun drawn, the marshals had no chance to show off their quick draw skills. He had another prisoner handcuff the humiliated lawmen together through a seat, and then release him from his chains.
Did he have put him in like a contorted sexual position?
Definitely did.
Like two like real alpha male, probably homophobic like marshals, but like you make one of them like handcuff, like his hands around the other guy's buttocks and like his face to his crotch. And,
Just like two garden gnomes in the front yard, just like put them up together.
yeah, we had a story a long time ago where like a mafia dude like made guys like lick other guys' assholes like at gunpoint, like now stick your face in his asshole, and they're like, oh my god. So I mean, you can imagine making a sheriff
Not
marshal.
like his asshole, but fine. It was close.
Wasn't it something
He
like
didn't
that?
kiss him on the butt.
I think it was I kiss him in his chocolate starfish.
He relieved the men of their guns and wallets before Roy and his friend jumped from the train and hopped on to another headed for Centralia, Washington.
Oh, so the friend's there at the train.
No, it's not the same friend. It's a different guy. So a different person planted the gun somehow.
Yeah.
This guy on the train was just another guy who was on the train.
Oh, Roy's got
I got friends
Yeah.
in low places. And Roy Gardner.
I'm getting out of this train.
And I'll be okay.
The other escapee, a man named Norris Pyron,
Yes.
was captured by a citizen posse the very next day.
That's a cool name, Norris Pyron.
Nowhere near the escape artist as Roy, Norris was discovered by a young boy as he snuck around a local factory.
Hey, mister, what are you doing around here?
He's 350 pounds. He can't sneak around.
What are you doing around this factory?
Nothing, kid. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm going to tell on you.
No, you're not.
Hey, there's a guy you're trying to sneak in.
And he did. Roy tried to hide from the oncoming posse by laying down on the ground, ripping up some grass, and sprinkling it over his body.
Oh wow, wow!
This'll get him. You see? You lay down on the ground, you face down. They can't see your face.
Hey, look at that deer.
What?
Don't look over here. I'm just grass. Look at that deer over there, though.
Hey, did that grass just yell at us to look at a deer?
I did not yell at you.
Nope, nothing here, but just us grass.
I would never raise my voice, and I'm not here. Look at that deer over there, though, real quick.
I'm sorry, I just came running over here. I heard there was a deer to look at. I'm a police officer. I want to see the fucking deer.
There's no fucking deer, man. There's never a deer.
God damn it!
The posse leader.
Mind if I piss over here on this lump of grass with a mustache?
Yeah, just don't shit on the boot.
Great callback.
The posse leader
Just
spotted.
don't shit on the boot.
The posse leader spotted the human-shaped pile of grass and said, "Come out of there."
By the way, I think that's a single by Florida Georgia Line. Just don't shit on the boot.
Just don't shit on the boot.
"Who are you?" the grass replied.
Ooh, that's a very existential question to ask by a piece of lawn.
When the leader said he was a deputy, Pyron turned himself in. Roy, on the other hand, was much better at escaping.
Fuck yeah.
For 3 days, he successfully avoided the largest manhunt in the U.S. up until that point. which didn't stop him from checking into a hotel.
Hey, a man's got to recharge.
What's your name, sir? Norris Pyron?
Ooh.
That's on the wanted list. You know that, right?
But there was a small problem of Roy's wanted posters, which were everywhere. So Roy entered the Olympic Club Hotel with his face wrapped in bandages.
Oh, that
leaving
won't draw any
nothing-
fucking attention. I'm that one movie. You know, I'm an invisible guy under here.
Yeah.
You know, no big deal. Don't pay attention to me.
He left nothing but a slit for one eye. He introduced himself as A.J. Wright and explained to the hotel clerk
Yeah, they call me AJ Wright because it's my right eye, the only one I can see through. The rest of them got burnt. See?
that his face had been burned in an accident involving a blowtorch and gasoline at a Tacoma garage.
You see, I'm a welder. You see, but I don't always know which direction to weld in.
But noticing that his eyebrows were completely intact, the hotel clerk did not buy the story.
Thank goodness I didn't hit my eyebrows. Though. I'm very accurate.
Neither did the police. Officer Louis Sonny searched Roy's room and on finding a gun, accused him of being the Smiling Bandit, a claim that was bolstered when Sonny called the Tacoma garage, who had never heard of an A.J. Wright.
Well, how can I smile when I have my face wrapped? You see? I burned my smile off.
Roy tried to fight his way out, but Louis subdued him long enough for backup to arrive. They took Mr. Wright to a doctor who carefully removed the bandages to reveal
I'm Mr. Wrong. Let me go. See?
The doctor carefully removed the bandages to reveal the bandit's completely undamaged face.
Oh, did he play it off? Was he like, oh my God, I'm healed.
It's a miracle.
There must be something in the water here. Oh, officer, it must be the deers.
It was all a dream.
The deers over there.
And you were there? And you were there?
Roy was sentenced to another 25 years at McNeil Island. This time, they would make sure he got there. Not only was he heavily shackled to the point where he could barely move, he was also accompanied by 5 law enforcement officers from various organizations,
And 17 Oregon boots.
2 of whom were handcuffed directly to the prisoner. As he boarded the train, he told Gather reporters, quote, "It was a good chase while it lasted, only it was too short. I'd like to have kept it up for a couple months at least."
No, he's a ham. He's all excited on the fucking, like when they're interviewing him.
When asked what he would do next, he replied, quote, 50 years at McNeil's. I'm done with that escape stuff.
What? He's just like that. He's just like charmingly like, I gave in. I'm done. That was like a fun.
I feel like this should be a movie.
Yeah. 6 weeks later, Roy was playing in the Labor Day prison baseball game
When he saw a deer.
with 250 inmates and a couple dozen guards as spectators. During the 5th inning, a player hit a long fly ball to center field. As everyone watched, Roy yelled, "Now!" That's when he and 2 other prisoners, Lawardis Bogart and Everett Impin.
Lawardis Bogart?
Yep.
Whoa, that's a cool name. Ot's up? I'm Lawardis. This is my friend. What's his name?
Everett Impin.
Everett Impin. He be pimpin'. Pimpin' with Imprin. It's a YouTube show.
So
I wanna
Roy and the
start.
2 other prisoners sprinted 300 yards towards the fence. But 6 of the guards saw them run and opened fire.
Whoa, I didn't know that would happen.
And Bogart got.
Roy was hit in both legs, but was still able to pull out a pair of wire cutters, make a hole in the fence, and slip through.
You can keep doing stuff like that when you've been shot?
The other men were not so lucky. Bogart was badly wounded, while Impin was shot dead on the field.
Ah.
In the 5th inning.
Didn't even make it to the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah. It's not even an official game yet.
If I could have stretched, I would have made it. His dying words were, quote, "Gardner told us those fellows in the towers couldn't hit the broadside of a barn."
That was his dying words?
Yeah.
That like that guy was wrong about how good he said the aim was?
Yeah.
Man.
Dude, criminals were so much cooler back then.
Dying fucking sucks sometimes. You're like, man, I want what you're like your eyes are already closed and you can't talk and you're like, I wish I should have said something else.
Roy's decoy tactic worked perfectly. His choice of Bogart and Impin was well thought out. They were both lifers who the guards disliked and would not hesitate to shoot.
Oh wow, that's a dark strategy.
Plus, he was smaller and faster than the lumbering brutes. After slipping through the fence, Roy ran towards a nearby herd of grazing cattle,
While bleeding.
caused a stampede to provide more cover from the snipers in the towers.
That's clever. I gotta hand it to him.
By the time guards were able to search the coastline and secure every boat, he was nowhere to be found.
There wasn't even a blood trail. He was shot for God's sake.
Roy Gardner is now an anti-hero, and I love him.
Yeah, he's pretty cool, but I still feel bad he got those other 2 guys shot, but they were lifers, right? He was just like, I'm putting out of their misery and I gotta go.
2 days later, a letter from Roy appeared in the Seattle Star newspaper, claiming that he was in the city and headed east, taunting the police.
What the fuck? Like a serial killer?
Quote, "Come and get me, you cheap dicks."
That is a fucking hilarious letter. He's out and his balls are bigger than ever.
And where are the bullets? Did
Dude,
he take him out? Did he Rambo it?
Yeah, what the hell happened with it? What kind of doctoring did he do?
They searched the mainland, which was a mistake because Roy was still on the island, hiding in a dairy barn for 3 days while his legs healed before swimming away and heading south.
Who knew that a bullet can heal in 3 days?
I know. I was thinking, like, if I got shot in the legs, man, I'm out if I pull a muscle for like 6 months or more.
How hard did it hit you? You know what I'm saying?
Right, could have grazed him.
Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later, Seattle police called off the search. Now, interesting note is that the letter appeared in the papers when he was still on the island. So there are two theories about the letter. The one that one of the theories
he sent it before he broke out.
One of the theories they had it delivered before it broke out and then sent it that way.
That's hilarious.
The other one is that it was like an imposter letter, but the handwriting seems close enough to his actual handwriting that it seems like it was a real letter.
And I love that. What is it? Come and get me, dicks.
Yeah. Come and get me, you cheap dicks.
That's so. How do you call him cheap? Was the soup no good in prison?
Because you gave me an Oregon boot that wasn't brand new, you cheap dicks.
By now, Roy was the most wanted man in America.
Yes.
Which may have actually aided in his flight. False sightings popped up everywhere. Law enforcement was quickly stretched thin. Every odd happening from a stolen car to a door found ajar was investigated as a possible part of his escape.
From a stolen car to a door found ajar.
What does he look like? Well, he looks kind of like mahogany, as a matter of fact.
While authorities focused on the Pacific Northwest and California, Roy was actually hundreds of miles away in Arizona, where he got right back to train robbery.
Oh, really? So he's not avoiding criminal stuff at all now.
No, bro.
He's going for broke.
Hey, you stick to what you know.
Swing for the fences, dog.
Yeah.
But what an uncomfortable existence at that point. You're like, man, I just want to be able to relax. And you can never relax again. If he would assume a square life and have learned his lesson, he could move on.
Some people
now,
need that adrenaline rush, bro.
I guess. I mean, yeah, go get a scooter or something. Get a mountain bike.
Get a Segway.
Get a Segway. Those are funny. You ever watch Segway crashes to feel better about yourself?
No, but I should.
They make you feel good.
This time, Roy employed a new strategy. On October 31st, 1921.
Ooh, Halloween in the 1920s. I'm talking scary times. People looked scary. They had
He
monocles.
dressed like a flapper.
That's right.
Roy went to a locksmith and asked for a key to a Pullman door lock, the kind used on train cars.
Why would you like a train car lock pick?
He explained that he only wanted it so he could slip on the upper level of the train and ride around for free.
Oh, you know what? That's not so bad. They do charge a little bit too much for tickets. All right.
You seem like a square egg to me.
The locksmith, seeing nothing wrong with that, informed Roy he would need a sample lock or key to make the copy. So Roy borrowed a screwdriver
And unscrewed one from a train?
and returned 30 minutes later with a lock from a car door.
30 minutes, man.
This guy.
On November 3rd, he broke into a mail car, but it was empty. On November 15th, Herman F. Inderleid, the mail clerk for the station in Phoenix, left his revolver in the mail car as he collected from the drop box. He returned to find a masked man with a gun, ordering him to lie down.
Lie down. Face down. In the grass.
And look at that deer.
The clerk complied, but in an act of both bravery and stupidity, he reached for the gun.
Oh, clerk, what the fuck? Is he going to get capped?
He grabbed the bandit's wrist, so the man tried to switch the gun to his other hand. Herman grabbed the other wrist. After a short wrestling match,
Now this wrist.
Herman
Now that wrist. Now this wrist. Now that wrist. It's like a.
Just go for my ankle.
Why are we waltzing right now?
Yeah, they do like a dance together. Wait a second. Are you robbing me? Am I robbing you?
This is so romantic.
This is really great. Then they kiss for a second. Their mustaches get like Velcroed together.
After a short wrestling match, Herman ended up on top.
Oh, fuck.
Gun
I'm
in
going to
hand.
come. I mean, give me all your money.
When cops took the masked man in custody, he identified himself as R.P. Nelson. But it wasn't long before they matched his face with the wanted posters for Roy Gardner.
God damn it, Roy. You were out and free, dude.
Now, here's an interesting note about this robbery, is that the gun held, I think, either 5 or 6 bullets. The first 2 were wooden-tipped bullets.
What does that mean? What do they do?
Designed to be non-lethal.
They were George Washington teeth.
Yeah. The first 2 were George Washington's
I didn't
teeth.
even know they made wooden tipped bullets.
Yeah, I mean, same thing as like rubber bullets they have now for crowd control type stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even know they do that.
But yeah, they had wooden tip bullets with like light shot, were designed to like incapacitate you. to
Yeah,
hurt.
make you fly down and be like, what the fuck just
Yeah.
happened,
No
man?
wooden bullets like when minorities are getting out of control. You got to use them.
Do they shoot wooden bullets?
Maybe.
No, they shoot real bullets.
Oh my God, this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
all
yeah.
just
It
terrifying.
gets crazy.
Yeah,
But
wooden
yeah.
bullets are for the college white kids.
But a lot of this was stuff like
You're so black, Johnny.
a lot of this stuff like was kind of indicated that Roy didn't want to actually kill anybody.
Okay.
So that was nice. A grand jury handed down 2 indictments. to which his attorney responded with a letter entering his plea as, quote, not guilty of the offense charged against him, for the reason that at the time referred to in the indictment, he was mentally unsound and did not have criminal intent.
Oh, man. Good lawyering right there.
At the core of his insanity defense were the multiple blows to the head sustained by Roy over his lifetime. It began with the childhood fall from the horse, made worse by his boxing career, and even more so by a skull fracture suffered in 1908 while working in a Bisbee, Arizona mine shaft.
I mean, dude, these are good arguments, though, for you're like, oh, yeah, he does have this. However,
This is the first case of CTE.
Accompanied by several armed guards.
you got to lock him up still. You're like, yeah, well, then I'm not mad at him, but we still can't let him out with the rest of regular people.
I say with the career he's had, you let him keep hopping trains, bro.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? You start your own little true TV show right there called Train Hoppers.
Accompanied by several armed guards, Roy went to a local lab for skull x-rays, which proved that he had, in fact, been hit in the head a lot.
Even though x-rays really only show bone and fractures. But
Yes,
I mean, hey,
but they
whatever.
show that part
You
of
could
his
show the bone, like,
they showed
so
there's a
damaged.
dent. They
Yeah,
showed
yeah.
that his head was fractured.
Sure.
And that part of the bone was pressing on his brain.
Ironically, a part that was shaped like a deer.
With that evidence in it, you know what? Here's the fun part is that they find out later that all the deer claims were just that his brain was making deer images. He's like, he thought there was an
you
actual deer.
serious?
No, not at all.
Oh.
It was just a fun riff.
Motherfucker. You fucking
With that
asshole.
evidence in hand,
You
Roy's
cheap
attorney
dick.
tried to cut a deal. Roy would get surgery to relieve the pressure on his brain from his fractured skull in exchange for parole. When it appeared that they did not give a shit about that deal,
No. of
Roy
course not.
changed his plea to guilty and was sentenced to 75 years at Leavenworth Federal Penitentiary.
Wow, that doesn't seem like that worked out too well at all.
No.
Whoa.
And
On
no
his
surgery.
sentencing, he promised he was done trying to escape, and in practically the same breath, he said, Leavenworth will never hold me.
I love this
This guy has got a funny personality.
Now, as a quick note, the judge during the sentencing said, like, hey, it's a 75-year sentence, but if you behave yourself, you will not serve your whole life in prison. Like, you'll get out because of like you not trying to kill people, the wooden bullets, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you have a good chance of being paroled within 20 years.
You're goddamn right. I'm not going to be serving 75
Yeah,
years.
that's what he says to the judge. Like, I'm trying to help you.
No, I'm out.
Once inside, Roy continued to petition for his skull operation, believing it was his best chance of changing his life and receiving parole.
Yeah, why not?
But after years of trying, the DOJ denied his request, and in 1925, he was transferred to Atlanta Federal Prison, the toughest in the country. So he returned to doing what he did best, trying to escape. In 1926,
Can you blame him at this point? Like, he needed a surgery. You're like, that's a fair enough argument.
in 1926, he tunneled under the wall and tried to saw through the bars in the shoe shop, but that failed.
Whoa.
The next year, he organized and led an armed prison break with 4 other inmates. With 2 revolvers, they took 2 guards hostage. But when it became clear that the warden would not be convinced to let them out, he gave up. That stunt earned him 2 straight years in solitary confinement.
Oh, so now he's going to go insane. He's already got brain problems.
What do you mean?
2 years in solitary confinement?
Doesn't sound like a big deal.
I mean, if they have air
Who needs
conditioning.
interaction
but-
with people?
Oh, my God.
Does he have Fortnite?
You'd like it.
If he has Fortnite, it's
You'd
totally
love it.
fine.
There'd be no one there to make you upset. You'd be like, I really became a morning person in
An
my...
Amazon
He's
Kindle
like, go ahead,
Paperwhite?
put me in the hole. I'm going to play with Ninja every single night.
Yeah, me and Ninja, bro. Me, Ninja, and Drake out there taking it down.
So mad I know that reference.
Is that a Fortnite reference? Or
It's
is
a
it...
Fortnite reference.
He's like the best
He's the
player.
great.
When people say
He's so
ninja,
great.
I think of either ninjas, like actual samurai
Or
ninja
white
kind of
rappers
dudes,
trying to avoid
or I
saying
think of
the N-word.
South African. No, I think of South African. What do you call it? Diant word.
Oh, Diet Word.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a rich video game geek.
When he
Name
finally
Ninja.
came out of the hole, he's a fine gentleman, sir.
I'm sure he
I'll
is.
defend him.
Slaton has
He's
a man
so
crush
cute.
on.
Oh my
on
God, I
him. Is
love
this the
him.
ninja guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
He's
he
got quick thumbs. I love him.
he
when he finally
Slaton loves
came
people
out of the
with
hole.
digits that he can use for his butt.
Roy was not the same.
Well, he wasn't after 2 years in the hole and needing a brain surgery.
Well,
yeah.
some people say it
Go
was just 20
figure.
months, so not that big of a
20
deal.
months? What is he, a baby?
He was transferred to St. Elizabeth Hospital for the Insane in Washington, D.C.
That sounds so much more kind than I'm sure it was.
Where he was-
St. Elizabeth.
It's haunted.
There, he was cured and sent back to Leavenworth. He stayed at Leavenworth until 1934,
Did he get his Leavenworth?
when a new prison opened up in San Francisco.
So at this point, he's about 50.
Getting close, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, getting pretty close. So yeah, he stayed there until 34 when a new prison opened up in San Francisco.
Alcatraz?
Hoping to be closer to his family, Roy volunteered to be transferred to Alcatraz.
Wow.
When it was all fresh and new. No
This-
one's ever shit in this toilet. This
Yeah.
exposed prison toilet.
It's
clean.
an island getaway.
I'm gonna start making my wine right now before anyone poops in this thing.
This was a huge mistake.
Why?
Not only was the Rock designed to house and punish America's most hardened criminals, but his wife divorced him right after the transfer.
Aw, lady, he's doing his best to keep the shit together.
I think it's hilarious she stayed with him that long.
Yeah, well, it's pretty tough sometimes, you know? You never know you're marrying a criminal. That happens.
So now Roy was single and stuck in what one writer described as, quote, the great garbage can of San Francisco Bay, into which every federal prison dumped its most rotten apples. Conditions were so bad that inmates regularly tried to commit suicide.
Oh.
One man, Rufe Percival, tried to get out by grabbing an axe from a fire truck and chopping off his own fingers
Whoa! That's a really slow way to do it, by the way.
before begging an inmate to do the same to his other hand.
How does that kill you? Slowly bleed to death? I'll probably get an infection. This place is dirty.
Just slit your wrist, bro.
While inside,
right?
Roy penned a book chronicling his life and stay
in a
on the
bathtub.
island, using the prison's nickname, Helcatraz.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But prison could not hold Roy Gardner forever.
Because he's a good swimmer.
You said butt prison back there, which I thought is also a good title for a show. Butt,
Butt prison?
Yeah.
That's actually the secondary name to Alcatraz, butt prison.
butt prison?
Yeah.
I went to butt prison.
So actually, a side note story here is that Roy in his book, because he was there, he was one of the first prisoners.
Yeah.
One of the also first prisoners was
Al Capone.
Al Capone.
Who also, though, Al Capone had like a damn honeymoon suite every prison he went to, from what I understand.
But he was not. Well, he was not at Alcatraz.
Alcatraz
and he was also not well liked at Alcatraz.
God, in Philadelphia, Eastern State Penitentiary, I was there and I saw the cell he had, and it was pretty sweet. It's like better than my apartment now.
It's like an executive, like the presidential suite of
oh, yeah.
cells.
Oh, yeah.
So according to Roy, at one point, someone threw what he described as a lead strap, which I don't know what that means. I think it might be like another name for like a weird knife or something.
Okay.
At Al Capone. And Roy says he pushed him out of the way, and Al just got an injury on his arm, like a cut on his arm.
Yeah.
And there is a story about someone trying to kill Al Capone and him just getting cut on the arm. So
Huh.
it's very possible that Roy
This
actually
is the
did.
story. It's Roy that
Yeah.
actually did
Johnny
it.
on the spot.
But prison could not hold Roy forever.
Butt prison.
Butt prison, dude. You don't send a man to butt prison, please.
In 1938,
Let this butt be free, baby.
less than 18 years into his sentence, Roy was granted clemency.
Oh.
This shocking turn happened in no small part because of a police officer who had caught him years before after his second escape, Louis Sonny. After his arrest of Roy, Louis had become a minor celebrity, which he parlayed into a career as a showman, which eventually led him to Los Angeles, where he became a film producer,
Oh, wow.
where he released a series of sexploitation films
What?
like Hellivision, Sex Maniac, and Gambling with Souls, a film about young women tricked into playing rigged gambling machines, then forced to pay off their debts as prostitutes.
Also, it was like pre-porno, like kind of dirty stories that kind of aroused
He was the
people.
original John Waters.
Hellivision is hilarious because Hellivision is just is like half of it is just clips of nude moments from Italian films,
Yeah.
mixed with like other random shit that he filmed.
Interesting. This guy went from cop to trippy-ass weird producer, dude.
So he gets Roy out. Together, Roy and Louis produce a documentary about his arrest, complete with reenactments in which the men played themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Whoa.
They
This is
tried
a
their hand
freaking
next
trip.
at financing a movie based on Roy's life titled I Stole $1 Million. Despite favorable reviews, the movie was a box office flop.
But we can still go see that movie? Like, we can find it on the internet, probably?
I think we could. That'd be
I Stole $1 Million, and they're in the movie themselves?
No, they're not. And I Stole $1 Million is an actual movie, like
Oh, okay.
a film.
Okay.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can still find the documentary, but
You have to. It's in the archives.
But Louis Sonny's son, who is also became a producer and stuff,
Is he here in the business, in the building right now?
2001, he produced a documentary about Roy Gardner and his father. and
Oh,
stuff. So
interesting.
we
Man.
might be able to find that actually, which includes an interview with Roy Gardner.
Man, I wish my dad was a big-time Hollywood producer.
So
I wish my dad was Roy Gardner.
The movie
I don't think
fails.
you wish that. You wouldn't have known him very well.
the movie flopped pretty hard.
That sucks.
Roy was devastated. Yet another attempt at going straight had failed.
This world is not right for me, says Roy.
On the evening of January 10th, 1940, staff at the Hotel Governor in San Francisco found a note taped outside his room. Do not open this door. Poison gas. Call police. Roy was found sealed inside the bathroom with a wet towel over his head, where he dropped cyanide into a glass of acid and inhaled the fumes.
Oh, God.
The papers reported his death, calling him, quote, the last of the train robbers, a 20th century Jesse James.
What a tragic end. And he tried to go square. He got out. He tried to go. He survived prison. That's one thing, right?
Over his career, Roy Gardner stole a reported $350,000, approximately $4.5 million today, and possibly much more, most of which was never recovered. To this day, treasure hunters still search cities like Flagstaff
Roy's
and
fucking
Roseville
gold?
for his
Whoa.
gold, cash, and security.
Can we do that? Can we do a crime fucking gold hunt?
We're the new Goonies.
Oh, dude, that'd be so great. Like, take our Patreon listeners and just like go out to the fucking all these places with like metal detectors and like,
It's the best geocaching ever.
dude, that'd be so cool. Real Geo cash for sure. Geo fucking straight cash.
That's the story of Roy Gardner. Wow.
So most of the money, it was cash, never
Cash, gold, and
recovered.
securities. Most of it never found.
What the, can money disintegrate over time in the ground? I
I'm
have no
sure,
idea.
but like the money's pretty well,
The
made.
big
if you
one
look at
everyone
it.
tries to find is he in Arizona. He stole 16 grand worth of gold, 16 grand at the time. So people believe that like people still search around Flagstaff for like the missing. It's almost like city slickers. Like they're searching for like the Legend of Curly's gold type shit.
That's what I'm saying. We should do a Patreon thing where we go there with just us and our Patreon, and we go like on a hunt
That'd be
together.
fun.
That'd be fucking badass.
we like digging up someone's front yard.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
fun-
sorry, fuck you. We're with crime. We have badges. We're with crime.
Fun note about this story.
We got a permit.
for those of you who are longtime crime listeners.
Thanks for doing permit with me together.
Yeah, I totally did. I was all aboard it. Those people who are longtime crime listeners, you might recognize the name Roy Gardner from the story of the Doe Tremont brothers, where we had Tebow in here, the three brothers who were really shitty at train robbing.
Yeah.
Their whole thing was they were trying to imitate Roy Gardner.
Yeah.
That was their hero.
Totally.
Wow.
And that's also where Chaw for Chaw comes from, by the way. If you wonder where that reference
Chaw
is,
for chaw.
Chaw for Chaw, bro.
Chaw for chaw.
So,
Fuck. Dude, I can't believe that ended with him killing himself. I feel so sad. That had such
know.
He was a likable criminal. He didn't actually kill anybody. Right?
I
mean,
wanted
as
this
far as we
movie
know.
to end like the movie Life did with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. They're just sitting at the Cubs game arguing.
yeah, or Shawshank or something like
or
that.
Blue
Like,
Streak, where Martin
you.
Lawrence is across the Mexican border and just keeps walking.
Yeah.
And the cops
It's-
like,
it's
Viva Las Mexico.
it's like, to find out, like, it's so hard, disheartening because this is the reality of a lot of criminals that want to change. They're like, I figured out that I was wrong. I want to do it the square way, and then they come back like, I can't get a job because of my fucking resume says I was a criminal.
also, I gamble away all my money every time, so that's a problem too.
That's bad too. I mean,
I was thinking he was going to live to be like 80 and then get married at like 78, just sit around the mall
No.
and just bitch about his wife
Th-
shopping.
those are the awful criminals that do really evil things that get to live to be 100. Those guys live forever.
Today's sources include Roy Gardner, train robber, escape convict, nice guy by Ivan Herring, offbeatoregon.com, IMDb, the San Francisco Examiner, Ancestry.com, the Roseville Press Tribune, AlcatrazHistory.com, and of course,
The evil robots at Wikipedia.
And that's the story, man.
That was great.
Of
I'm
Roy Gardner.
Great
fascinated.
story,
I need more.
Great story, Slaton.
I need more Roy.
Quasto.
You know, we need is more Quasto. And where can people find you on the interwebs, my friend?
Oh, you can find me at JQUASTO on the social medias, JLoComedy.com, or if you want to get the album, QuastoAlbum.com.
We will link that social media profile in the show notes, so go find that. If you're on Laughable, you can just press on Jonny Loquasto's face and find him all over the place, which is pretty rad. You can find our show on social medias at CRiiIMEPOD at CrimePod on Instagram and the Twitter. You can also email the show, crimepodcast@gmail.com for your story ideas, questions, dick pics, label those for Shefsky. And and jump on the Patreon to Sticker of the Month Club. There'll probably be some pretty cool stickers coming from this episode, I'm guessing.
I'm so excited.
There's the sticker for this month is really fun, and we are super pumped about that one.
It's got to have a train on it. It's got to have a man jumping off a train.
Also, you can go and visit our sponsor, Studio Headphones.
Yeah, studio.
You get the Studio Regent, the on-ear model with that super long battery life, that great cord, or if you want to go super mobile, the Studio Tray, the in-ear model, which there's their sport model. Not only is it got a good, nice little battery life, not only is it nice and easy to wear when you're actually doing stuff, but it lets in sound from the outside world. So if you're bicycling, running,
jogging or whatever,
you're
you
not going to get hit by a car as much.
You
as
can hear
would.
other cars, other cyclists. You can hear your wife yelling at you as you're
Yeah.
riding away. Where are you going? You got shit to do.
So go ahead.
Fuck you, woman. I'm out.
Go to studio.com, use the promo code CRIME with 3 eyes to get 15% off all of that stuff. And please tell your friends about the show. Leave us those 5-star ratings and reviews. And oh my gosh, I almost forgot until right now. Crime Live! is coming back to the Comedy Store Saturday, June 30th at 10:30 p.m. The second live edition of CRiiiME. We're still working on the guest.
Oh, we're so excited.
We have some real great stuff coming down.
What room is it in? We just got to
It's going to be in the belly room.
Which is where a
upstairs.
lot of crime took place.
Yes, a lot of crime has happened here at Le Store du Comédie.
I got to tell you, I never thought I'd be sitting in the basement of the Comedy Store. This basement had some evil things happen.
Oh,
There's
I'm
some
sure.
evil shit that's happened here.
But it's also a wonderful
But there will be
place.
great things happening Saturday, June 30th at 10:30 p.m. for that next edition of CRiiiME Live. It's
We
gonna be
can't wait to
super fun.
see you. We'll give you guys codes for the.
Yeah, there'll be promo codes
promo
coming
codes
out
and all that stuff as soon as we figure it out.
So if you want to jump on the promo code train early, go ahead and give us an email, and we'll have some promo codes going out.
Oh, for sure.
Also, for
We
those of
better
you,
see you there, Barry.
for those of you on Patreon, you're gonna have pre-sale access to our pre-code access to get in right out the gate. To
I
make sure
hate
you
it
have
when I
seats.
pre-code. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, dude, pre-coding.
Got a
man,
lot of pre-code.
This happens. That never happens to me.
It happens to me. The older you
All
get, the more
time.
pre-code.
This is so strange.
It's embarrassing.
It
But
happens
it's still
to
a little
everybody.
satisfying.
It's still good.
So give us those 5-star rating reviews. Come check us out at CRiiiME Live. It's gonna be super fun. Give much love to Jonny Loquasto.
Yeah.
Honored to be here, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, dude.
We
You're
love you
awesome.
all. Bye,
That's great.
Robot.
Bye, guys. Peace out. We love you. Be silly. Have fun.